Ms. Harney, if we can please pull up 304E. Mr. Cruz, if you and the court can please turn to page 11 of the same transcript. Mr. Cruz, when Mr. Mack says watch everything from all angles, what did you understand him to mean? It means like watch my surroundings while I'm out, make sure I'm watching everything around me. While you're out doing what? In the streets. When you say I'd be on point, what do you mean to say? Like I pay attention to what's going on. When Mr. Mack says just stay sucker free, what do you understand that to mean? Like stay away from clowns, like stay away from people that are moving funny towards me. On line 9, when Mr. Mack says you already know how to move, you know what I'm saying, what did you understand that to mean? Like you already know how to move, like you already know how to maneuver. When you said we're going to make it happen when you come home, you hit me, all right? First of all, what does that phrase hit me mean? Hit me means call me. What does that mean when you say we're going to make it happen when you come home, call me? Like we're going to make money. Doing what? Selling drugs. Mr. Cruz, yesterday while you were talking about the subject areas of your conversations with Mr. Mack, one of them you mentioned was jewelry. Is that correct? Yes. And in what respect were you discussing jewelry with Mr. Mack during the calls? We were discussing the jewelry like gold chains. In what way? He wanted me to give him a gold chain. And what was your response? I told him I would give it to him. When? When he got out of jail. Ms. Harney, if we could please pull up to Government Exhibit 304C. For the transcript, that's 304T, page 7. Mr. Cruz, turning back to page 7, first of all, what is this conversation about? About jewelry, like gold chains, like a Cuban link chain that I have and an AP chain that I have. When Mr. Mack says on line 3, I'm coming for all the Cubans, what did you understand that to mean? It means he's coming for all the Cuban link gold chains. When he goes on lines 19 through 22 to say, I'm coming to grab me a couple of those, I'm coming out to grab that thing rolled up, what do you understand the phrase, I'm coming to grab it mean? Like I'm coming, like he is going to come grab it, like as far as like it could mean anything. It could mean a couple of things. Objection, Judge. Sustained. The witness will be speculating. What did you understand it to mean when Mr. Mack? Same objection, Judge. One moment. Why don't you establish that he had an actual understanding as opposed to speculating? Have you heard the phrase, I'm going to grab something? Yes. Have you had conversations with Mr. Mack where he has used that phrase? Just right now. Have you had conversations with other members of 9 Trey who use the phrase, I'm going to grab something? Yes. And based on those conversations and based on the context of the call that you were having with Mr. Mack on July 21st, 2016, what did you understand Mr. Mack to mean when he said, I am going to come? Hold on. Based on what counsel said, did you have a specific understanding of what was meant? Yes. Just yes or no. Did you have a specific understanding? Yes. Counsel, you may inquire. What did you believe that he was communicating to you when he said that? Grabbed as far as like robbed, stealing from somebody? On line 8, when Mr. Mack says, what's your is it the whole joint, the short one? What did you understand that to mean? He was asking if it was like a whole kilogram of gold, the whole joint. That's in reference to the Cubans? Cuban link chain. Cuban link chain? Yeah. After Mr. Mack on lines 19 to 20 says, I'm going to come grab me up a couple of those, in response you say, I'll give you my I don't care about that. What are you communicating to Mr. Mack when you say, I'll give you my I'll give him my chain. What chain? The gold Cuban link chain. When you say on lines 24 to 25, I got the diamond AP, I don't need the Cuban no more, what is that a reference to? I had bought a brand new diamond AP chain at the time. What is a diamond AP chain? It's a custom piece that has 2 letters in it, A and P. What does A and P stand for? Always paid. What is that a reference to? It's like a group I'm in, a record label I'm in a group. A record label? Yeah. On page 8, after you say the diamond AP with the rope chain, I got that, Mr. Mack says they got to come for all the Cubans. When Mr. Mack, following those 2 lines, says I got to walk out with that, You have heard. What did you understand Mr. Mack to be communicating to you when he says, I got to walk out with that? When he gets out of jail, he wants to have the Cuban link on his neck right then and there. If we can please, Ms. Harney, pull up Government Exhibit 307B. The corresponding transcript is 307T, page 3. Mr. Rebold, I will ask you each time you go to a new transcript, just put a date on it. I apologize, Your Honor. It's 307B. It's a portion of a call from August 16, 2016. Just for the record, the prior call, which we just discussed, was 303T, which was from a month earlier to the day on July 16, 2016. Ms. Harney, when you pull up this exhibit, can you please start 58 seconds in? Again, this is 308B. I will direct the court and Mr. Cruz's attention to page 4 of the transcript, that is 307B, page 4, lines 1 through 24. Mr. Cruz, starting at the top of page 4, there is a reference to Roe. Who is that? Roe was Roe Murda, another member of 9-Trey. Back in August of 2016, do you know where Roe was? Yes, he was in jail, New York State Prison. What was his status within 9-Trey at that time? He was a high O20 in jail. On line 5, you say he tried to call me with Uno on the phone. Who is Uno? Uno B is another member of 9-Trey. He's a high O20 in jail also. When Mr. Mack says in response, yeah, Uno, that's my dog too, what did you understand him to be saying? Uno, that's his friend also. Earlier on line 4, in reference to Roe, when Mr. Mack said, that's my son, what did you understand that phrase to mean? Meaning that's his friend. On lines 11 through 13, when you said, I'm chilling right now, I should be good by next week though, you heard, if you need me to help out with that situation that you asked for, what was that a reference to? I mean, I should have some drugs by next week and I could help him out with the situation he asked me for in the previous phone calls. When I said in line 18, when you come home, I got you, what did you understand that to mean? When he comes home, I'm going to give him the drugs. When Mr. Mack on line 21 says, I need an always paid piece, what do you understand that to mean? It means like he wanted a chain that I had, like always paid piece, likes a chain. Ms. Harney, if we could pull up 307C, which is page 6. First, Mr. Cruz, in lines 3 and 4, when you say, I'm waiting on some shit right now, what is that a reference to? Drugs, I'm waiting on drugs. What is the rest of the conversation about? Him asking me to go give the Cuban that I said I was going to give him to his friend? Meaning the chain? Yes. Now, Mr. Cruz, after Mr. Mack completed his time on the parole violation, did you continue to have dealings with him when he was back out on the street? Yes. Can you please explain? When he came home out of jail, he came to my house in Manhattan and I gave him 500 grams. The 500 grams was wrapped up in 100-gram pieces. 500 grams of what? Of heroin and fentanyl mixed together. What, if anything, was done regarding the $9,000 debt that Mr. Mack owed you from before he went to jail? I told him he can keep it. What, if anything, did you receive in return from Mr. Mack when you gave him 500 grams of this mixture of heroin and fentanyl? I believe the only thing he gave me was a couple of $1,000. What is the normal rate that you were charging at that time for 500 grams of heroin? $23,500. What, if any, understanding did you reach with Mr. Mack about payment for these 500 grams of heroin? He said that he would sell it and give me the money later on. Did Mr. Mack ever pay you back? No. Can you please explain what happened? He never paid me back. We got into arguments after that, and from there we became cool again, so it was like on and off relationship. While you were having these arguments, did you discuss that argument with other members of 9-Trey? Yes. Prior to coming to court, did you have an opportunity to hear a recorded phone conversation from the 2016 wire investigation into where you had such a conversation? Yes. I'm offering at this time, Your Honor, Government Exhibits 301A, B, and C, and the corresponding transcript 301T, and this again connects to what is stipulated as Government Exhibit 1003 related to wire stipulations. Any objection to the receipt of the 301 series? No, Your Honor. No objection, Judge. They are all received. While Ms. Harney is pulling up 301A, Mr. Cruz, can you just please turn to page 2 of the transcript and just give us a backdrop of who is this call between? It's between me and Romerta. This is a call from October 15, 2016. From your understanding, who called whom in this call? I believe Romerta had somebody call me. Where was Ro at the time? Prison. Miss Harney, if we can please play 301A. Mr. Cruz, before we delve into the transcript, can you give the jury an overview of what this conversation is about? That's me talking to Romerta about the money that Aljermiah Mack owed me. Why are you communicating this with Romerta? Because Romerta was a higher up. He was a leader of 9 Trey in jail. Why does that matter? He probably could talk to Aljermiah Mack to get him to pay me back the money. If we can go back to page 2 of the transcript, in line 16, you refer to the black N. Do you know who that is in reference to? We called Aljermiah Black Boy, or we call him Black. That's a word that we used for him. Is that who you were referencing there? Yes. When you say, I gave you a second chance, which is on line 17 to 18, what is that a reference to? What did you mean by that? He owed me money for the first $9,000, and then I gave him 500 grams of heroin and fentanyl when he first came out of jail. I gave him a second chance, like I gave him another chance to make money with me. When you said, now you owe 20-something bands, what does that mean? The $23,500 he owes me. On page 3, on both lines 9 and 10 and 14 and 15, Romerta says to you, so what's up? You want him out the G-ride? You want him out the G-ride. First of all, what is a G-ride? He means like, do you want him? G-ride would mean like 9 Trey. What do you understand Mr. Martin to be saying when he is asking you, do you want him out the G-ride? You want him kicked out of 9 Trey. What authority, if any, would Romerta have over that decision? He could speak to higher-ups also that are in jail and persuade them to kick him out of the 9 Trey. When you say on line 11, just holler at him one more time, what does that mean? Like I'm telling Romerta just to speak to Aljermiah Mack one more time to see if he can get the money. In response to Mr. Martin asking if you want him out the G-ride, when you say, forget about the G-ride, I'm going to take him out the G-ride. Bro, I'm really going to take him out. I am going to take him out the G-ride all the way. What does that mean? That means I was going to have him killed. On page 4, when you said, just holler at him one more time, like, yo, bro, I need that bread, informing about, tell him you need that bread, what are you saying to Mr. Martin? I am telling Romerta to tell Aljermiah Mack that he needs the money. Who is the he in that sentence? Ro. Why are you telling Mr. Martin to tell Mr. Mack that Mr. Martin needs the money if the debt is owed to you? Because Aljermiah Mack would probably respect Romerta more than me. On page 5, lines 16 through 18, when you say he failed to realize that a lot of ends is going to go to me, what does that mean? I was saying a lot of people were going to go for me. People from where? Like all over Brooklyn, people like that worked with me, people that I was friends with, like a lot of people would have shot their gun for me. What, if any, reference does this have to 9 Trey members? Some 9 Trey members and some regular people. When Mr. Martin in lines 22 through 25 of that page says, if he tried to holler to anybody about anybody, whoever going to try to holler at is going to holler at me, what did you understand that to mean? Like if Aljermiah Mack tries to reach out to Magoo or Uno B, which are higher up leaders in jail, they're going to reach out to Ro, and Ro was kind of like dub the situation. Dub would mean cancel, tell him it's no good, that's not happening. What's not happening? If he was complaining about me. Then on page 6, when you say I could really just get on some bullshit, I could just, do some stupid bullshit. I make Magoo tell them, bro, I said I'll make Magoo dub them. What does that mean? It means I will make Magoo, the leader in jail, tell them, I knew that Magoo probably could have been easily bought. Easily bought? Yeah.